Tribe did in their bans. So a little bit surprising to me that they went for the Arden here, but they banned away T-Tiger's Saw. You've been playing the Saw throughout the first 2 games, so forcing Tribe to have to change things up here in game number 3.
Yeah, absolutely forcing them to do so. And maybe this is your weapon Arden, Tasty. Maybe that's what Vision's going to pull out here. Maybe this is that card they have hidden in their back pocket.
I mean, I have gotten to see their weapon Arden before.
That's why I'm saying it now.
It was fantastic, but I just don't know if it's going to get pulled out here. Varia is the ban for Tribe, so we are not going to get to see a Varia here today, unfortunately, if this is the final game. But right now, I think for the side of Vision, you look towards something like it's tough. You're in a kind of a tough spot because if you go for the Rona, Sky just gets picked up. If you pick up the Sky, they're going to grab Taka. If you go for the Black Feather, they're going to grab Rona. So they're in kind of a really rough spot with this pick right now because of the way that this draft went and because of the fact that they felt they had to ban away the Saw.
Yeah, now they've got the Vox out on the table here, and Dienzio going to be pulling out the Scarf, and a Glaive looking probably for T-Tigers, although I wouldn't put it past them to switch it up if the draft so suits it. But this is very classic T-Tigers and Dienzio scenario here.
Very much a classic T-Tigers and Dienzio scenario. I mean, this is kind of like almost a signature picks for the two of them. We'll see if they can make it work. Vision Gaming got to put some thought into their final picks, or their final pick, excuse me, as they're going to be, where do they want to go in the jungle? You could try and run something like the Kashka, have that early assassination. They could look for the Taka, but I feel like, the assassinations, kind of targets are going to be very difficult because there's a Grace on the other side. And once you go in to try and assassinate a target, Grace just throws a divine intervention on them, and all of a sudden that assassination just does not work any longer.
Yeah, and I'd almost actually like to say that jungle Rona might not be a bad idea here. Very similar to the interaction that a Rona and a Black Feather have. Rona is actually very good into Glaive, so that's something we could potentially see. The Sky is still on the table, so that's something we could have pulled out here too. But they're going to go with the Taka, and while Taka in the early game can have, or early mid game can have a lot of gank potential against the Scarf, I think Taka into Scarf is not quite as game changing as we get into the later phases of the game.
And it's not as game changing. And again, like I said, when you go in, you X Retsu a Scarf, Grace just throws a divine intervention on him immediately, and all of a sudden that massive burst that you have as a Taka just gets negated. So I don't like the Taka pick into the Grace, even though it does do well against the Scarf generally. I think just because of what else is on the team, it's not really going to be able to have that same level of effect.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see how it plays out. It is going to be Dienzio on that fabled Scarf of his. T-Tigers, again, Kashka always going to be the one that he's known for. Glaive, something we've definitely seen him play at, the maximum potential or maximum level. So I'm excited to see this matchup. I think there's potential for Vision, specifically on the Vox, can be that late game hyper carry. But it's going to be very difficult to shut down Dienzio in the later portions of the game.
All right. So we are going to be getting getting onto the fold for game number 3. What could be the final game of this VIS Pro season if Tribe are successful? You see a very different start to this game. Tribe, they want to go right for the throat, going in aggressively into the Vision Gaming jungle, looking to steal away some of these camps. They're going to get that first treant. Tebow, he is just going to get dropped. And that is a very quick first blood for the side of Tribe. And they're going to continue to look for more as they try and steal away some more of this jungle. Shaded Talent is going to do what he can to kind of, try and deter this, but it's not really going to be able to stop too much from being stolen away. Meanwhile, on the other side of jungle, Max Green looking to prevent Kaz from being able to steal anything away on the answer, and he was able to do that successfully as well. So this is a great start for Tribe, and now Kaz, he's going to be in trouble as the healing flask gets used. Doesn't matter. TiVo, he's going to be the target once again. Still level 1, does not have that Kaku available to get out of harm's way. And he's just going to get chased down, punted into the wall, and taken out 3-0 to start this game.
Yeah, brilliant start for the side of Tribe, and getting this Scarf ahead early, getting some gold into his pocket early on is definitely going to be beneficial for them moving forward. D'Enzio right now is sitting at 9 CS to Kaz's 0, so we've got a little bit of an edge developed here in the lane. TiVo also on 0 to T-Tiger 6, Max Green even sitting on a farm right now. So Tribe, they're already sitting 1,500 gold up, and it was before the 2-minute mark that was the case.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal start for Tribe. It doesn't get a whole lot better than the early game that they just had for themselves. Right now, Max Green, he's going to get chased out by TiVo a little bit, but TiVo is going to get stunned by T-Tigers. Not into a wall, though, so he's able to walk away after the fact and isn't going to get collapsed upon, but it does mean he has to give up on trying to contest this Elder Treant. So that's going to go over to T-Tigers, as once again, Tribe just finding ways to apply pressure in the first few minutes of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is one of the most devastating ways you have to set a glaive play up to be effective. If you use your afterburn and you're not using it into obstacles, you can actually punt away an enemy to safety because of the distance traveled. So when you're on a glaive, and you know, obviously T-Tigers knows this as well, you need to target those afterburns towards some sort of obstruction, a wall, you know, just towards your team, anywhere where you can continue to capitalize damage on them thereafter, because glaive, while he does have one of the longest range...
Look at how
oh no, TiVo!
TiVo just gets chunked down by T-Tigers. And the Elder the Treant was stolen. Now Shaded Talent, he's going to get knocked into that wall. He gets taken down very low as well. This is just Tribe showing no mercy here in game number 3, being very aggressive.
Yeah, that was literally the definition of melting somebody onto TiVo there in the jungle. That for him to die that quickly this early on in the game without a just massive advantage on the side of Tribe is huge for them, but they might have found a kill here on D'Enzio. TiVo's looking for it.
And TiVo is looking for it, but they just don't quite have enough damage to get it yet. TiVo could still try and go underneath the turret for it, as D'Enzio is extremely low, but D'Enzio, I feel like he's trying to bait them because he does still have a healing flask. So does Max Green. It definitely feels like they're trying to get them to overcommit underneath the turret. Doesn't look like it's going to happen just yet, but they're sticking around. This is where it could end up happening. TiVo goes underneath the turret. That's going to be Max Green taking him very low, forcing the healing flask out of him. Max Green finally uses his healing flask, and T-Tigers to the rescue. Comes flying in from the lane and finds a kill. Now Kaz has to use his healing flask. He's going to get chased down. One more Spitfire will not connect. TiVo is still lurking, trying to get onto D'Enzio. Neither of these two have a healing flask any longer, so TiVo does get one kill onto D'Enzio, finally getting Vision Gaming on the board. But this has just been a bloodbath here early. Yeah, it's been Tribe in control of pretty much this entire game so far, and while they were able, Vision were able to pick up a kill onto D'Enzio, he's still quite far ahead, and T-Tigers looking to rotate over for some more farm here. It's only the jungle duos, or the jungle shop duos, but T-Tigers is denying farm. He took the Treant. That was what I was commenting on. He just took the Treant again. I mean, look at his CS compared to everyone, not just compared to his opponent, compared to everyone. He is right behind D'Enzio when it comes to CS. He is over double TiVo's farm currently. He has just been constantly stealing away these jungle camps and now going into the lane, able to get that first turret. T-Tigers, this is the T-Tigers that everyone that plays jungle fears going up against.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I did miss that Treant. I was looking at D'Enzio returning to the lane, but you are absolutely right. For T-Tigers to be so close to the laners in CS, it really shows the jungle dominance he's establishing right now, and he's looking for more. He's found Kaz again.
Yeah, he's making this a solo mission. He is now 6-0-1 at the 6-minute mark in a game where his team has 7 kills, 100% kill participation, and 6 of the 7 kills are on him. He has just been constantly applying pressure. Right now, TiVo's doing the right thing. He's doing what he can, getting at least some farm, from the Tribe side of the jungle, but there's just so much pressure being put on right now that he has to come back home. He can't just try and stay out there. T-Tigers, he's just going underneath the turret to knock Kaz into the rest of his team. Fountain does get used by Max Green to keep T-Tigers alive. Now Dienzio is the target. T-Vo's gonna start burning. There's a Dragon's Breath, trying to find as much as they can. T-Tigers, have they stayed over a little too long? That is gonna be a kill for T-Vo right before he gets punted out and gets himself to safety on a sliver of health. So another kill for the side of Vision. And again, maybe Tribe being very, very confident, rightfully so, but you do need to rein it in just a little bit. You don't want to play too aggressively and end up throwing this lead away.
You're absolutely right. It was a little bit too long that they stuck around there. And, you know, in the end, it did cost them a life, but I don't think they're really hurting too much. Kaz, though, he's not looking to get some damage on this turret, but it doesn't look like Tribe are having anything to do with that as Dienzio comes through with the kill there.
Yeah, Kaz just trying to do what he can there. Unfortunately, wasn't really able to make too much progress as Tribe. That's going to be T-Vo getting found once again as he tried to use the Kaku, just immediately got stunned. So that's kind of going to be a wasted ability. Now Shaded Talent going to get hunted down, but Tribe don't want to go into that Crystal Sentry just yet. Keep in mind, we are still only 8 minutes into this game. It is very, very early. It's just that Tribe have just accelerated the pace of this one so heavily. Yeah,
exactly. And I wouldn't disagree if we see a Shiver Steel come out of T-Tigers just to help keep Kaz and T-Vo from making it out of combat. Might be a really smart pickup for him, but then again, he may also just go for all damage. You know, it's really up in the air right now. We do have the Spell Sword complete. He has the Heavy Steel.
It's going to be at minimum 2 Spell Swords. We could even see T-Tigers go for like 3 Spell Swords, which we have seen players do before, but I would assume he's going to get at least 2 Spell Swords in this build, as he's already got himself now the breaking point just to ramp up his damage even more. Kaz, he knows that there's really just nothing he can do. There's no jungle camps for him to farm. The wave, he's pushed up to a point where if he tries to go and farm up, he's just going to get ganked immediately. And Tribe, they know exactly what they're doing here as well. They are freezing this wave, saying, you know what, if you want to get any sort of gold, you need to come into a position where you are going to get killed.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a scary point to be at for them, for the side of Vision, as Dienzio, they're sitting here holding this wave at this point so that Dienzio and Tribe's minions die, and that's keeping Kaz from actually getting any of that CS. So that was a whole wave that Kaz just missed out on there. And now as the waves meet back up, there's this gank potential, as if Kaz comes into the lane, we see that obviously with the first turret down, he has to extend incredibly far to actually get to those minions. And with T-Tigers here on the glaive, the gank potential is just absolutely insane.
Yeah, like that's a full wave of minions that Kaz just completely missed out on because they couldn't go up to try and farm it. That was expert holding of a wave. And you know, as we go into 5v5, that's something that we're going to see a lot more of, is teams holding waves like that. In 3v3, you know, you can't hold a wave indefinitely. That wave was about to crash into the turret, which would have reset it anyway. But in 5v5, you're going to be able to freeze waves a lot more effectively, like what we just saw there. And so that's something that we can kind of look forward to in the future of Vainglory. But right now, T-Vo trying to make plays happen, trying to get onto the Scarf in the back lines. But meanwhile, T-Tigers, actually Max Green gets credit for that kill, but T-Tigers was able to set that one up. They land a stun onto T-Vo, and he gets shredded. And now Max Green, he knows he can't really fight 1v1 against the Arden. Well, he can fight him, but he's not really going to be able to do a whole lot there. So the two captains just going to have fun dancing with each other for a little bit while the rest of Tribe push in that turret.
Yeah, and, you know, again, this is Tribe on some of their most comfortable picks, and it's really showing strong for them right now. Dienzio, now that he has this Aegis complete, it's going to be very difficult for this Taka to actually have a huge impact And this is what I was talking about. As we get later into the portions of the game, this Taka does start to fall off a little bit. He doesn't have the clockwork complete yet either, which is a little bit later than I would like to see. But, you know, again, it's because T-Tigers has just done such a fantastic job all game long of maintaining control of his jungle. The whole jungle.
Yeah, the entire jungle.
T-Tigers jungle. And now this is going to be a gold mine going over to the side of Tribe. That big old -1 payout for him there. But
yeah, that is just a bug with the spectate client. Don't worry, they did not somehow manage to lose a gold from taking the gold miner. It's just an issue with the spectate client. We don't actually get to see the payout numbers, but it was pretty much a full payout, I believe. So it's a good amount of gold, 400 gold each going on over. But right now, again, Tribe, they are in complete control of this game. Vision Gaming, I mean, they're doing what they can. They're trying to farm up where they can get gold, but it's just everywhere they move. If they go past this first destroyed turret, they are in risky territory. And Tribe, they know exactly this chokehold that they have. Oh, Kaz goes a little too far forward. Takes a ton of damage. Now TiVo is the target instead, as Kaz starts to get himself out of harm's way. Fountain getting used by Shaded Talent. But once again, stun coming through. Nice block by Kaz to make sure he doesn't get the stun afterwards. Oh, that doesn't even matter as he gets taken out. TiVo trying to take down Dienzio. Max Green still hasn't even used his ultimate. Or, actually, I think he might have used... No, he didn't use an ultimate. That's Boots in his inventory. Didn't use an ultimate, didn't use a Fountain. None of it was needed, and they got themselves 2 kills on the side of Tribe. They are just completely dominating this game. I think it feels like Vision, they've kind of accepted their fate at this point. They're still going to do what they can, but they know that realistically, unless Tribe kind of hands them numerous opportunities, that they are not going to really be able to get back into this game very effectively.
Yeah, definitely a rough spot to be in. Kaz had a great block on the afterburn, avoided the stun. Didn't matter. That double hit coming through, T-Tigers executing it a regular basic attack, then using the Twisted Stroke for that instant attack reset. Was able to burst through the remaining health of this Vox, who has been forced to go with armor incredibly early. He does have a Poison Shiv and a Breaking Point complete, but he's not even working into that 3rd tier 3 item yet because he's been forced to defend himself against the Glaive, who, looking at the builds, is almost the same build, except for he's sold out the Flask and has a 3rd tier 3 offensive item. So just shows how dominant T-Tigers has been, and here it goes more.
Yeah, Kaz getting stunned up, and now he's just going to get chased down. Does have a lot of utility to get himself out of trouble. Is it going to be enough? The Gauntlet gets used, doesn't get any stuns. It was blocked. TiVo doing what he can to try and dance around. Stuns up Dienzio as he walks through the Gauntlet wall with the ultimate running, but it doesn't matter. TiVo's down. Kaz does get a kill onto T-Tigers. That's actually some pretty big shutdown gold going over, but can they find any more? Kaz looking to try and do what he can to clear out these minions, maybe get some damage onto the members of Tribe, but Dienzio, he's very far ahead as well, and they're not going to be able to get much there, but it is a 1-for-1. Like I said, a large amount of shutdown gold going over to Kaz off of that one.
Yeah, absolutely was, as, you know, at this point, anything that the side of Vision can get for themselves is desperately needed right now. And Kaz, you know, again, he needs to get a 3rd offensive item on to help him build up these Breaking Point stacks. That's really going to be their only chance to go ahead and try to find victory here. And, you know, if T-Tigers keeps up the aggression and Dienzio, you know, working into his 4th item, he's even gone with a the Spellfire, just so that when he does hit somebody with a Spitfire, not only does it tick that burning damage from the Spitfire itself, it's going to tick additional damage, which is a very scary thought, because we've seen the side of Vision get away on just a fraction of health several times. That additional damage over time could definitely be game-changing for them. And with only 2 turrets remaining, 15 minutes up, and it looks like Tribe are getting this Kraken uncontested.
Yeah,
I think this should be game.
Even if it was going to be contested, Tribe would have a little bit of an idea that their opponents were coming. If you look at the amount of vision Max Green's been putting down with that contraption during this time. But it really just felt like Tribe, you know, not wanting to go too aggressively into the opponent's base. We're just waiting for that Kraken to spawn so that they can get a chance to go ahead and secure that and look to end the game with a Kraken push. that feels like where we're heading now as Kraken makes her way down the lane. Obviously, if T-Tigers can find an opportunity to afterburn someone into the team, he's going to likely take it. But for now, it's just pushing in these minions, waiting for the Kraken to get here and join them, and then looking for a fight in the enemy base. Either you get a kill, or if you just spend enough time distracting the enemy while the Kraken works on these turrets, they're going to go for a team fight. Nice block by Kaz will prevent the stun from the afterburn. Great gauntlet comes through. Will stun up just the captain. But it is buying a little bit of time for them to work on this Kraken, but you see Kraken still barely taking any damage as the first turret falls. Dragon's Breath going to get used. Kaz is just melting, gets a nice heal from the fountain. Is going to be staying alive just a little longer. Divine Intervention's getting thrown onto Dienzio, but it looks like that will be the first kill of this fight as the second turret falls, and a half-health Kraken is now onto the Vein Crystal, and Tribe will be taking the third game of this series. They will be completing the sweep here in the finals, and they will be your VIS Pro Winter Season champions.
Yeah, and it couldn't have been more convincing as a 3-0 sweep. Now, Vision, again, I can't say it enough. They put up a phenomenal fight through every single one of these games. In the end, Tribe got on something that is very well in their comfort zone and something that's not really popular in the meta right now. And I think that might have been part of what threw Vision off a little bit in this last game. You know, it's been a while since we really saw Jungle Glaive be a huge threat. For a while there, he was back up in the lane. But Scarf is somebody we really haven't seen in quite some time at all. So, you know, I think again, just the hero pool in general that the side of Tribe has makes it very difficult for any team in the world to compete with them. Obviously, you know, again, world champions, but you know, I think a lot of that is due to their draft strategy and just how comfortable they are on all these different heroes and the combinations that they set up. And again, Max Green, just the ultimate playmaker. You can't have